Branding from scratch is hard, and most people don't do it. So if you brand with a purpose, you instantly have an edge on your competition. In this video, I'm going to give you a simple but powerful 5-step framework to build your brand that costs you nothing and makes you feel like a pro. Over the last 15 years, I've helped entrepreneurs refine their messaging, carve out their unique positioning, and grow audience organically without being or having a big budget or flashy ad campaign. And this system is a part of how I did it. First, let's define what a brand actually is. The branding is not your logo, it's not your colors, and it's not your tagline. Martin Neumeier, author of Zag, puts it like this. A brand is a result. It's a customer's gut feeling about a product or service. So create that feeling you want your customers to have every time they think about you or your brand. Why focus on feeling? Because emotions drive action. Logic justifies the action after. The book Thinking Fast and Slow dives deep into this. It explains how your brain has two systems, a fast instinctive one and a slower logical one. The fast one runs the show. Why does this matter? Because psychology is your best friend when shaping what people feel about your brand. So step 1, pick a feeling. Ask yourself, what do I want people to feel when they experience my brand? Inspired, empowered, joyful, safe, rebellious, or calm? If your brand doesn't make people feel something, anything, then it's kind of like, You might be thinking, but my product is useful. Isn't that enough? Not really. Being useful is the baseline. Your competitors are useful too. For example, if you have 2 water bottles and one has a label of a logo and a mountain and the other is just plain, which one would you say costs more? Which one feels more reliable, safe, and even more pure? Probably the one with the label, even though the water could be exactly the same. Now let's take it further. Liquid death, water in a tall boy can, packaged like a punk beer. Same product, totally different feeling. It's not just water, it's rebellion, edge, identity, and that's a $1 billion brand. Now step 2, find your difference. Ask yourself, what problem do you solve? Who do you solve them for? Why is your way better or just different? What are your competitors saying or not saying that you can? And why do you do what you do? When you understand the people you help, you can clearly articulate your core message. Here's a practical tip. Have a 30-minute conversation with a colleague. Record it, answering the questions I just outlined. Transcribe it using some software like Flow or some other transcribing software. Upload it to Claude or ChatGPT. Then use this prompt. Using the transcript above, outline the brand purpose, brand mission, brand vision, brand positioning statement, brand values, and some taglines. This will give you a solid foundation. The key is to feed the AI with your own raw insights and let AI tidy it up. So, okay, let's move on. Step 3, let your customers write your copy. The best copy is probably already been said by your customers. Find a time to talk to your customers and ask them if they could meet you to have a feedback meeting. Then ask them, why did you choose us? How would you describe us to a friend? What made us stand out? What surprised you about working with us? What were your fears before using us? How has your opinion changed? Then listen. Look for repeat words, emotional tones, specific values, stories that stick. And then use the words. Make the language your language. Your brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. Start listening and use that insight to write better, sharper copy. But here's a word of warning. You're not only looking for bland praise like great service or easy to work with. You're looking for deeper insights. These conversations are not just about glowing testimonials. They're about understanding the emotional journey and how your product or service helps create that shift. So listen carefully. Customers will tell you what they care about and how you help them. Results matter, but how you get them there matters just as much. Step 4, choose your brand archetype. Now that you have your brand feeling, messaging, and differentiator, now it's time to start building your brand identity. And the first place to start is to choose your brand archetype. The archetype that reflects your vibe. Here's a few examples. The creator, innovative, expressive. The sage, wise, insightful. The hero, bold, empowering. They're everyman, relatable, approachable. The concept of archetypes comes from Carl Jung, who believed we all share the collective unconsciousness, a set of universal characters and stories that showed up across culture. They tap into a deeper emotional instinct. They make branding consistent. Voice, visuals, and experience are all aligned. They guide your tone. If you want more information on this, you can download our free PDF with the 12 archetypes and brand examples in this video description. Now and only now do you talk about design and any type of visuals, illustrations, or photography. Don't start with visuals, start with meaning. Now that you know your brand's feeling, messaging, differentiator, and an archetype, you can build the look and sound that matches. Start collecting inspiration. Create mood boards, Pinterest or Notion work great. Screenshot websites, fonts, packaging that feel right. Save anything that looks and feels like your brand. Ask, how do we look? How do we sound? How do we show up in the feeds or email inboxes? All the early steps should guide this one. Here's a pro tip. Find a design layout that you love. Drop in an image that evokes the brand within where they have their image, and then replace the copy, the text, with your own insights from your customers. Then ask, is this how my brand should show up? Does this feel right? Once you've done this a few times, you can then test your imagery, you can test your design with your audience and get feedback and adjust. So there you go, a practical, no fluff system to build your brand with emotion, clarity, uniqueness, and with £0. Okay, you might need a laptop and you might need some internet connection. If you want a copy of the brand archetype guide, grab it at our link at coooys.co.uk, brands that matter.